Ethics and regulations can be very controversial in the media and press industry, as they are the rules that employees must follow. They can cause a lot of strong opinions. There have been cases where the rules haven't been followed by employees, such as the Leveson inquiry and Edward Snowden. There's a rule in the ethics and regulations sector that says victims of crimes or accidents shall be paid the greatest possible regard. The same rule applies to witnesses and the relatives of the person concerned. Consideration and tact shall be shown in the collection and communication of pictorial material, including amateur photos. Another thing that can be very controversial in the ethics and regulations sector is misrepresentation. Misrepresentation can be used in all sources of media, and misrepresentation, in my opinion, is used a lot. In my opinion, I would enforce a rule where women and men cannot be sexualised in images. We now move on to structure and ownership. There are two types of structure and ownerships, which is public and private. Public ownership provides communication as a public service and addresses their audience as citizens rather than their customers. There are many advantages of having public ownership, such as you will have a higher validation of your company, you have a higher company profile, you can use stock as currency to acquire other companies, you have a more attractive suitor for potential businesses, you will establish a public validation of your company, and you provide flexibility for your owners, and stocks or options will provide essentials for your key employees. Now we move on to disadvantages of public ownership. Having public ownership is your own book and is open to scrutiny. You will have a higher accounting cost and you will depend on directors. Your ownership validation will be subject to market errors and you will lose some flexibility in operating your business. I'm now going to talk about private ownership. Private ownership provides communication for the purpose of generating profit. The advantage of having private ownership is that the company experiences financial distress because of the normal business activities. The personal assets of the shareholders will not be at risk of being seized by creditors. The essential services are provided and everyone that shares the profit and wasteful duplication is disposed. There is only one disadvantage of private ownership which I could find, which is political interference can occur. I think that in journalism the media should be publicly owned, as I think being publicly owned appeals more to not only the people but to other potential business partners, so be able to give more opportunity to expand the business and will be making more profit. I am now going to talk about employment in the media and press industry. There seem to be a lot of jobs in the media industry nowadays, but lots of jobs seem to be disappearing and decreasing. But jobs that are currently there are a lot more of now are media and website assistants, a sale and marketing executive, an administrator which does advertising, a press and communication officer, a content strategist, a senior digital producer, project manager and a senior research and planning manager. There seem to be a lot of decrease in jobs in the media industry, and here's some of them. Books, periodical and music media, the sound industries in the media, newspaper reporting, radio broadcasting, motion picture productions and television productions. The jobs that seem to be increasing in the media industry seem to be internet publishing, as internet is basically used for everything nowadays. The trends in employment seem to be coverage, technological developments, and the newspaper industry in long-term decline. To make sure there are loads of job opportunities in the media industry and press in the future, what I'll try to do is increase the jobs that are disappearing so there are a lot more job roles. Also, if these jobs did stop disappearing and began to increase in the media and press, I would try and make sure that each job would have an element of internet to do with it, so that they'd be keeping up with the trends. And the last thing I would do would be to provide apprenticeships and work experience for all ages, so more people will be able to work in the industry.